Welcome to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the show that brings you man-on-the-street interviews, celebrity guests, groundbreaking research, and heartwarming stories about the reasons we smile. Our show is also known as everything you've always wanted to know about dentistry, but we're too numb to ask. Hello, I'm General Dentist Dr. Kvitko, and thank you for joining me today.
The following views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of this station, its staff, management, or parent company. To hear a replay of this show or one of the great shows that previously aired, log on to thereasonswesmile.com or iTunes, keyword Dr. Kvitko or The Reasons We Smile. Listeners should not use Dr. Kvitko's comments and advice in place of an actual dental exam.
Brighten your life with a smile that shows the professional touch of Dr. Kvitko.
Time now for The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Call 459-9769 to discuss your dental issues. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kvitko.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Reasons We Smile. I'm Dr. Kvitko. Thank you so much for joining me. This is episode 668. It's November 1st. It's daylight savings time. So if you're tuning in, wondering why the show that you wanted to hear isn't on, it's because you missed it. It was an hour ago. For those of you that tuned in an hour ago to listen to me, thanks for tuning back in. All right, and congratulations to the Buckeyes for winning last night. Today we have an interesting show. I think it's going to be a great show. In the studio with me is Sean Carpenter. He is the owner of Palonix, Palonix, and it is a dental IT company. So we are going to learn a little bit more about that from Sean because he's been helping me with all of the IT. You should have been in here 30 minutes ago and watched us try to figure this out. I was watching them. I'm amazed by them. But anyway, before we get started, let me remind you, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr. Kvitko. And if you'd please go to my office Facebook page and like us, it's Dr. Kvitko and Associates. Also, all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com, and we're streaming live on Facebook, at least I think. Sean, are we streaming live on Facebook?
We should be.
Okay. These guys are awesome IT guys. They have a great sense of humor putting up with me. One of my questions later is going to be about the kind of challenges that come with working IT for a dental office. And I have this whole list of things I was going to go through, and I forgot radio show. Have you ever had to do a radio show for another dentist?
No, this will be the first.
Thank you so much for joining me. So anyway, hey, in about 10 minutes you can have a chance to win free flowers from DeSantis Florist. Let me give you that number to call. You can pre-program it into your phone at 614-459-9769. And in about 10 minutes, we'll give you that chance. Okay, so let's go with Sean, and it's called Palonix. Tell me about, what is Palonix?
Palonix is an IT company. We've been in business for a couple years now, primarily focused with the dental industry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
and for people that don't know IT, it stands for Information Technology. That's one of those things everybody assumes you know. Like when people say they reached across the aisle talking about a senator, it's amazing how many people don't know what that means.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, okay, so Palonix. And is Palonix some like secret resistor or capacitor or some kind of a silicone-coated something inside a computer?
No, it's actually an available domain name.
Oh.
And very technically, it sounds technical.
It does sound technical. See, I thought it was a secret capacitor.
No, there's no
something.
secret code to it.
Okay, so how did you get into the business of IT for dental offices? That seems very specialized.
Yeah, it came from banking.
From
the banking industry. There's a strong need for security,
yeah,
IT knowledge.
Okay, and so you came from the banking industry.
That's right.
And then just one day you said, I'm going to go into dental?
No, that was a decision actually taken out of my hands. The wife was very adamant I left that industry. There's a few situations that led to that decision.
Okay, sounds like he doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just there's a situation where we had been at an ATM for an extended period of time because of the weather, and some people.
What were you doing to it?
Auditing. Yeah, and
okay.
to get to the computer on an ATM, you have to actually get into the safe at this one. So it wasn't the most pleasant.
And you had there was like a security guard there with you, making sure two things:
That's right.
that you didn't steal the money and that somebody else didn't steal the money, right?
Yep.
And then some guys came and trying to steal the money.
That's right. And we ran, and
Palonix,
it turned out just kind of how you would think it would turn out, and turned into a conversation with the wife. And available domain.
Because she was afraid you maybe could have gotten shot.
Yes, that would be my guess.
Because so once that happened, she's like, "You're never going back to that job.
You're done. Yeah.
You're done. You need to find new work." Okay, and I understand that because when I was 17, I was working at a gas-only gas station, and at the end of the evening, what I would do is I would bring like the little things of oil. It was like a dolly, but it was like an oil display, and it had windshield washer fluid, and they were on wheels, and I'd roll them in for the night. And I was bringing everything in, and as right before I got in the door, I saw something on the corner of my eye, and I just walked in the door, and then these two guys, robbers, came and pushed me to the floor and had a gun to my head. Took me in the back room and told me, "Don't."
Situation where we had.
I can't say on the air what they said, but basically said, "Don't mess with them, or they'll blow my head off."
Oh, it's terrible.
So I never went back to that job either.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Yeah.
And it's, believe it or not, it was a long time ago, and I still remember it like yesterday. You'll always remember that, sadly.
Luckily, we got away before that ever happened.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying, and back room, gun to the head, face down, and you still, to this day, will hear sometimes where the clerk at a gas station is found dead in the back room in the morning, right?
And we ran.
So I'm very fortunate to be here, and I know that. So in your case, then, it was you're working at an ATM, and somebody tried to rob you, and your wife said, "You need to quit." So that's how you quit. How'd you get into dental?
Luckily, I knew somebody, and put an application in, and
you're done.
There was a dental company looking for a guy with my skills, and they helped me get into the industry.
Okay. Well, did you make sure there was no chance you could get robbed or held up by gunpoint?
Yeah, it was a much safer line of work.
Okay. So now, what kinds of challenges does a dental office present to you guys, to an IT company, besides the radio show?
Well, the biggest challenge is compliance. The government has regulations, and from a security standpoint, from a network security standpoint, there's a lot of demands put on an IT company.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that not just HIPAA.
Specifically, I'm referring to HIPAA. Yeah.
Okay, Health Information Privacy and Portability Act, for those people who didn't know what that stood for. Don't know why I'm explaining everything today, but anyway. So do you have to do any special clearance, because you are essentially given access to private patient information when you go into an office?
We sign an agreement with our clients. It's basically like a confidentiality, a business agreement that relates to HIPAA. So.
Okay. And how about your employees? Do they have to be screened in some way?
Background checks.
Background checks? Okay. Okay, because the dental office can get in deep trouble if any of this information gets out.
That's right.
Right. Okay, so knowing that, I mean, and you worked in the banking industry, so you must be trustworthy, because they definitely do background checks, right?
Polygraphs, background checks.
Seriously?
The whole works. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. They also did they do any like private interviews of friends or family?
I don't think they go that far.
No?
I couldn't see. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Because that's good. Well, they might have told you, because years ago, I had a gentleman that was helping me with IT on the side. I mean, it wasn't his full-time job. He was in the National Guard of some sort, and at some point got contacted by somebody in the military, and they were asking me a bunch of questions. Made an appointment, a bunch of questions like, how does he handle his money? Does he appear to be... I think they were trying to figure out if he would be easily persuaded to give up information, you know?
Yeah, that's military. Once you cross into that territory, it's a whole different game.
Okay, yeah, because I guess if you can't handle your finances, all it's going to take is some good-looking woman that the Russians sent to get whatever they want, right? Or maybe it's China these days. I don't know who sends those people. But anyway, okay, so that's the biggest issue.
Sign an agreement with our clients.
Now, we're going to do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day in a minute or so I want to remind you guys of the answer that Sean gave about why he got into dental IT, which is essentially his wife made him quit because he almost got robbed working for a bank. Or kind of did get robbed, but you run fast, apparently.
Yeah, we ran. That's right. Ran scared.
Is that what they told you to do, by the way?
I mean, for me, I didn't. I'm just standing there doing my job, you know. and the guards freaking out. There's people coming at us, so it's run. I mean,
okay. And they still couldn't get the money, right?
No, I mean, there was an attempt that night with a blowtorch, and that didn't end well. I mean, the plastics went down, but that's about it.
So now, okay, let's do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day, maybe a half minute early, while it's all fresh in everybody's mind. Before we do the contest, though, we'd like you to listen to this.
This station will not be held liable for any contesting during The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Participation in the contest allows Dr. Kvitko to record and broadcast your name and call. One winner per household. Prizes are non-transferable, cannot be substituted, and are subject to taxes and fees. This station cannot be responsible for the inability to enter the contest, whether due to equipment malfunction or telephone difficulties. All decisions of Dr. Kvitko concerning this contest or eligibility are final.
Or maybe it's China. But anyway, so that's this issue. Now, we're going to do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day in a minute.
And now it's time for Dr. Kvitko's question of the day.
All right, today we're speaking with Sean Carpenter, the owner of Palonix, which is an IT company that specializes in dental offices. What did Sean say when I asked him how he got into dental IT? Is that what they told you to do, by the way? A, his wife made him quit his previous job because he was working on an ATM and some guys tried to rob it while he was working on it, and his next job was with Patterson Dental. B, he always wanted to be a dentist but did IT instead. Or C, his dentist asked him for IT advice. All right, the winner's going to receive free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They'll be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. The number to call is 614-459-9769. That's 614-459-9769. So go ahead and call now.
You won't believe it though. I wanna hear your mind, and there's nothing else in the world tonight. She said, people don't take the time. Hey, people don't take the time.
Hey, what's going on? It's Keith Carlos, winner of America's Next Top Model and star of Chocolate City 2. You can look for my smile courtesy of Dr. Kvitko on the CBS television network, where I play Danny on the hit soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. Stay tuned to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko. Well, we reopened back on May 1st, and I'm happy to say that things are going very well. Our patients are receiving the same great care we've always provided, and we are placing a huge emphasis on infection control. In addition to face shields, like the one I've worn since 1985, and of course exam gloves, my entire team is wearing surgical gowns and caps, and we are limiting the number of patients we have in the office at a time. I'm also happy to report that there's not been a single incident of COVID-19 associated with our office. Call us at 614-262-9588.
Dr. Kvitko, let's go! Hi, I'm Johanna, and I've been a dental patient at Dr. Kvitko and Associates for over 10 years. I would really recommend Dr. Kvitko for your family's dental care. They're friendly. They're always there to help me. I feel like family when I walk in the door. It's clean, it's comfortable. Even if I have to bring my kids, they have a great playroom for them. I know when I'm with Dr. Kvitko, they are taking that extra time to make sure that I'm going to be the healthiest I can be. They've been great. I love them.
Call Dr. Kvitko and Associates today, 614-262-9588.
Hi, this is Richard Simmons. Dr. Kvitko's here, and he's going to help you with all of your problems. Are your teeth yellow? He can fix that. Are you missing a tooth? He can put a new one in. How is that?
That's very good. Thank you, Richard. Okay, we're back. We're doing Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. We had actually 4 callers, but we lost one. And then we flipped the coin twice to come up with line 3, which would be Lee. Hi, Lee. How are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening and for calling in. What is the answer to Dr. Kvitko's question of the day?
He had to quit his job because his wife made him due to a bank robbery.
Yes, exactly. Happy wife, happy life, right?
Right.
or in this case, actually having a life. Because he made it out alive. Lee, what do you do for a living?
I'm retired.
Retired what?
School teacher.
School teacher, okay. Cool. What subjects did you teach? IT?
No, I didn't. But that'd be an interesting class to teach. Driver's education.
Driver's ed? Oh, wow. I love my driver's ed instructor. Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Is it scary?
No, not really. You
Not
have
really?
your own, your own controls.
Oh, okay.
And the children, the students are always motivated to learn, so it's very rewarding.
Yeah, they probably listen to you better than any other teacher they've ever had in their life, because you're going to get them their driver's license, right?
They do. Their parents always say they won't listen to them. But yeah, you're right.
That's cool. All right, Lee, well, stay on the phone. We need to get information where to send you those flowers, all right?
Thank you. Thank you for your show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for listening. And for Johnny and Joe and the person who we lost, call in next week and try to win, okay?
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so now, if you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode 668 of The Reasons We Smile. With Dr. Kvitko, we have with us in the studio Sean Carpenter of Palonix. And so, Sean, if somebody wants to hire you to do their dental office, what's the phone number? What's the address? How would they reach you? Thank you for calling.
By phone.
By phone. What's the phone
Or
number?
email. We have a sales email, sales@palonix.com. We have...
I'm going to spell it for people again. Palonix.
That's right.
Sales@palonix.com.
The site, palonix.com. We have a contact form. You
Okay.
can fill out, request information.
And what's the phone number for those of us that like to use phones still?
614-695-6700.
Okay, remember that because I might ask you again later in the show.
Cool. What subjects
Okay,
did you teach?
so now, recently we learned that hackers are attacking the U.S. healthcare system with ransomware. I'm sure you saw that
That's right.
in the news. And I thought to myself, I should be covered because I just got like 23 new computers and you guys have everything buttoned up really tight, right?
That's right. We better.
So I can sleep at night.
Yep.
Okay. And, but how do people in general protect themselves from ransomware? What would you tell a client?
An average person? Oh, well,
Yes.
I mean, a client, I would
Well,
tell
yeah, client.
you should purchase our security services. We have a
Okay.
managed security that takes care of everything.
Okay.
From the actual software that goes on the computer to a person you call at any time or email at any time to a company that's sending you alerts about
Really?
your infrastructure.
Okay. So I'm good. And
That's right.
anybody that hires Palonix would be good.
That's right.
Okay. No, that's good to know. I mean, it really is important to us. I mean, I know it costs money, but we spend money when we feel like it's important. Everybody does. Something's important enough in our life, we'll spend the money for it. We don't like, nobody likes spending money on things they kind of like pop up like they need, like an emergency muffler repair, right? But for something that you know is good for you, good for your business, you're going to spend the money on it because it's cheaper. Years ago, I was attacked, I think you know this, by ransomware. And it cost me $5,000 in ransom. It cost me $13,500 to recover from the attack, and then another $44,000 for the entire new system that I had installed. The one that you just completely replaced.
It's much cheaper to just get a security system in place.
Right.
Work with a company that's done it for a long time and has a good reputation.
Okay, so now, what are the different aspects of things that you handle in a dental office? I made a list if you miss any, because I know, but my listeners don't typically know. Like, they just think it's just all the computers that we use at the desk. But it's not, right?
That's right.
So, one would be x-rays.
X-rays, the integration specifically, how it integrates to your system, to your IT infrastructure. We deal a lot with that,
Right.
specifically regarding dental.
And what he's talking about is now when we take an x-ray, we x-ray this sensor, it's hooked to the computer, the image shows up on our screen immediately, within 6 seconds or so. If you're still going to a dentist that develops the x-rays and shows it to you 5-6 minutes later, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. But if you didn't even know x-rays could be on a screen, you're kind of like living in 1980, 80s, right? Also, the intraoral imaging, the cameras, when we take an intraoral picture. Now, my camera, I always hold up my finger. My camera's smaller than my index finger, by about 3/4 of the width of my index finger. I've actually checked it. And so that has to be integrated as well.
Yep.
Become part of the patient's chart. And their permanent record.
Right.
Right?
Camera, x-rays,
Right?
panoramic x-rays, intraoral x-rays.
Right. So there's all these different types of x-rays. So the machine where you stand up and it goes around you, ours is it's called a ours is a cone beam scan, but it also takes a panoramic x-ray as well. And then I was thinking about it, there's the little tie-in here because you also are dealing with our banking point of sale machines, right? So
PCI compliance.
What's it called?
It's called PCI compliance. It's a different type of compliance.
What's that stand for?
Payment center.
Oh, okay. Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's for our compliance officer. That's his
Payment center integration, maybe? But it's not. We'll make that up. We'll go with that.
That sounds good.
There's not going to be another question of the day, so we can just make up anything we want, right? Remote access. This is something that's very important to me. I have the ability, with Sean and Palonix's help, to remote into my office computer from my cell phone, from my home computer. I have my office manager able to go into the office computer. I have 2 other employees that can access the office computer. Oh my goodness. Maybe 3. That's right, because my associate, Dr. Pagano, can also do it, right? Yeah. So is that common in the business, or are we just kind of stick out like a sore thumb?
It is. It's very common. You need to treat those computers like their internal network.
Okay.
And secure them as well, same way you would any computer on at your office network.
And then also our dental office management software. And what that is it keeps track of everybody's address and everybody's what charges and what payments and what work they've had done. And that's a big pain in the butt because, in fact, it's kind of a thorn in your side because I had to shut my office down for 2 days, not because you wouldn't have worked on a Saturday, but because those people wouldn't have worked on a Saturday, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so that really stinks. But good for you. You get to be home with your wife on the weekend.
Sometimes.
And then cable TV, you have to integrate. We have 2 televisions in every treatment room and about 6 others or more around the office, right? You had to make sure those all were talking to the computers and working. And there's a lot. Any more that you think I forgot? I have 3 more.
Oh, the server components are huge.
Server components?
Yeah, it's a whole book in itself.
Is it? Making sure that everybody, all of those other computers in the office talk to the server. That's the brain.
Talking, logging,
remote access,
integration, everything runs through the server. Server's the central hub in your network.
And we're backing up automatically to a cloud?
That's right.
What if a 737 MAX flies through it?
You got the cloud.
The cloud's still safe?
Cloud's got you covered.
Okay. And then antivirus software, you have that on the server and all of the individual computers?
Everywhere, yep.
So like my home computer that I'm connecting to the office, does there need to be something special, or does it recognize my... I mean, I guess I'm just curious. How does that...
It's what we call whitelisting, essentially. There's a lot of different components that feed into.
It's on the whitelist, meaning it's acceptable?
That's right.
Okay. Otherwise, the blacklist. Yeah, there's a TV show called The Blacklist, right? But there's no one called The Whitelist.
It's kind of the same concept, just reverse, essentially.
Okay. All right. So now it looks like it's time for us to go to a break. So when we come back, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more questions. I think we're going to have to do like Jeopardy. You only have like 6 seconds to answer or something. All right. Anyway, you're listening to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, here with Sean Carpenter from Palonix, and we'll be right back.
You can't take me as I am, not just a little bit. I don't know who to be. I'm a paper cup, baby, of the sea. I know you see it too, 'cause you're too much for me.
This is Clark Kellogg. Stay tuned for more of Dr. Kvitko.
Estás escuchando con Dr. Kvitko aquí en su estación favorita.
Hi, I'm Dominique Reiger. Like what you hear? Why not use the show to promote your product or service by becoming a sponsor? Call 614-262-9588 to learn how. That's 614-262-9588. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. I've been honored to help several famous people get a perfect smile, like Keith Carlos and Dominique Reigard from America's Next Top Model, and Ted the Golden Voice Williams from right here in Columbus. Isn't it time you had a celebrity smile? It costs less than you might think, and most of the time, it can be done in one visit. A new smile can make a world of difference.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
I'm Grandpa, and I go to Dr. Kvitko, and I still have all my teeth. Real ones. Where's my glasses?
All right. So now, looks like it's time for us to go to a break. So when we come back, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more questions. Okay, we're back. It's Dr. Kvitko with Sean Carpenter from Palonix. episode 668, and we have to do, there's some important questions here, so I won't rush you at first. First of all, how has the pandemic affected your business?
Well, we're a smaller business, and
I would think you're busier almost.
We are busier,
right.
and the change from on-site to remote that happened, specifically with shutdown,
right.
Put a lot of demand on the IT infrastructure, which we were able to meet. And
okay.
We're happy with the work, for sure.
Yeah, okay. The other is, if you could look into a crystal ball and see the future of computers and other IT and dental offices, what would you see?
I see the server going away.
Really?
I see the cloud taking over and just encompassing as much as possible. It's definitely a trend right now.
It is?
Yep.
Okay. So you have a virtual server. How do you control that?
You buy a service.
You buy a service.
Like a software as a service kind of deal. Yeah.
Now these are, the cloud is actually it's a building. There are these buildings in areas. I think
here in Columbus,
I was going to say they're even in Columbus. They look for areas of the country that don't have hurricanes, don't have volcanoes and mudslides, right? That are stable for the most part. Because if this building gets wiped out, oh my goodness, what would happen if one of those cloud farms? It's this huge building, no name on the outside. Lots of air conditioners, right? You can almost tell what it is because it's got lots of air conditioning and very few windows, right?
A lot of irritated customers is what would happen.
A lot of irritated customers?
Okay. There's so much business tied into those.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're back. And if I'm not mistaken, the companies that do those, would that be like Cisco?
Yeah, Amazon's a big one.
Amazon's a big one?
Big one we work with.
Okay. And they have redundancy. So there might be 3 buildings serving the same clients?
That's right.
So if one goes down, it doesn't interrupt things, right?
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if a lot of people realize that. The other is, what are the newest features that we're going to find on computers today that maybe weren't there 5 years ago?
Biometrics, authentication, that's a big one. Using your fingerprint.
Your fingerprint?
Yep.
Is that a good thing to do?
I think so, yeah. It just gets away from the password. It requires a physical person to be there, confirm that they are the person that's logging in, which is a big thing. And authentication's a big thing. See the server going away.
Now that would be so my dental assistant would have to put her thumb on a pad to be able to access the information.
That's right.
Okay. So you have all right. Virtual server. How do you control features in a computer or on IT are being phased out besides the server?
Sharing, just rapid sharing amongst different computers it's a protocol. That's kind of what happened with the WannaCry ransomware years ago.
Okay.
Just blindly trusting other computers. That protocol's going away.
Okay.
So there's a bit more of a complication as far as making things talk and integrating across the network.
Now, if you're so darn busy because this pandemic is like you guys barely have a chance to sleep, how do you keep up on all of the new stuff and the latest and greatest?
Nights, weekends.
Okay.
A lot of irritated customers.
All right. Tell us again how somebody could hire Palonix to be their IT provider.
Just give us a call, 614-695-6700.
See how good his memory is? He remembered that.
I should. I do. It is my company.
No, that sounds good. And I'm sure there are lots of dental offices that are thinking, are they safe from ransomware? And if they have that, if that's a question mark in their mind, they need to call you. Really?
Yeah.
Because
call somebody.
Yeah,
sure.
Call somebody. Because I can tell you guys from experience, it is not pleasant. It's the worst feeling ever. And it didn't even happen on my computer. It happened on my office manager's computer.
Using your fingerprint.
And she, there was this, we showed up on a Monday, and we couldn't get the computers to come on. So her son had some IT knowledge. He came in. And what they did is they disconnected each of the individual computers from the server and tried to make them stand alone. But that was before they noticed that on her screen on her computer, there was a little blinking thing that said, having trouble finding your data? Click here, right? And that was the crooks saying, we have your data. And you'll need to send us, it was two bitcoins or something like that. Back then was $5,000.
And now it's probably, it fluctuates. That's terrible.
Right, yeah, so terrible. All right, but I don't have to worry about that. I can sleep well at night. Even on daylight savings time, I sleep fine.
Sleep away.
Okay. Much appreciated. So, Sean, thank you so much for getting up early in the morning, being on the show. Really appreciate that. And for all the help that you've been to the radio show. And those of you that are watching it on Facebook, it's because Sean and Seth put this together for us. And hopefully it'll go smoothly when you're not in the room. We'll see about that, right? Okay, looks like it's time for me to say that's all the time we have today. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's at Dr. Kvitko, and visit my office Facebook page and like us. It's Dr. Kvitko and Associates. Do you want them to like your website, Sean?
Sure.
What is it?
That's Palonix.com, Palonix.
Okay. Remember that all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
This is Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kvitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kvitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's 614-262-9588, or send an email to speaking at...
All right, but I don't have to worry about that. I can sleep well at night. Even on daylight savings time, I sleep fine.
Sleep away.
Okay. Much appreciated. So, Sean, thank you so much for getting up early in the morning, being on the show. Really appreciate that.
Thanks
and for all the help that you've been to the radio show. And those of you that are watching it on Facebook, it's because Sean and Seth put this together for us. And hopefully it'll go smoothly when you're not in the room. Yeah. We'll see about that, right? Okay, looks like it's time for me to say that's all the time we have today. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's at Dr. Kvitko, and visit my office Facebook page and like us. It's Dr. Kvitko and Associates. Do you want them to like your website, Sean?
Sure.
What is it?
That's Palonix.com, Palonix.
Okay. Remember that all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
This is Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kvitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kvitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's 614-262-9588, or send an email to speaking@thereasonswesmile.com.
Broadcasting from the Byers Dublin Mazda Subaru Studios.
Under the Big Windmill.
WSNY, WSNY HD Columbus.
A Columbus Radio Group station.
The opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the advertiser and do not reflect the opinions of this broadcast entity or its affiliates. Franklin Communications